Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtakim Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Kiram Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyameshwaram Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Sri Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Text 25. Devotees can repeat after me. Yannibadho abhimano yam tadvadat aninam vadaha tatana yasya kaivalyad abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate yannibaddo abhimano yam tatvadat praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalyad abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Because of the bodily conception of life, the conditioned soul thinks that when the body is annihilated, the living being is annihilated. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Supreme Controller, the super soul of all living entities. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I am mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. This is impossible for him. Thus he has no enemy and no friend. When he chastises the demons, it is for their good, and when he accepts the prayers of the devotees, it is for their good. He is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. Prabhuji, want to repeat Sloka? Anyone? Rasya Damakar. Matajis. Rasya Kaivalya. Hare Krishna. Puppet. Because of being covered by material bodies, the conditioned souls, including even greatly learned scholars and falsely educated professors, all think that as soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. This is due to their bodily conception of life. Krishna has no such bodily conception, nor is his body different from his self. Therefore, since Krishna has no material conception of life, how can he be affected by material prayers and accusations? Krishna's body is described herewith as Kaivalya, non-different from Krishna himself. Since everyone has a material body, conception of life, material bodily conception of life, if Krishna had such a conception, what would be the difference between Krishna and the conditioned soul? Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita are accepted as final because he does not possess a material body. As soon as one has a material body, he has 4 deficiencies. But since Krishna does not possess a material body, he has no deficiencies. He is always spiritual, conscious and blissful. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. His form is eternal blissful knowledge. Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir, Chinmaya Rasa and Kaivalya are the same. Krishna can expand himself as Paramatma in the core of everyone's heart. In Bhagavad Gita 13.3, this is confirmed. Kshetrajnan Chapimam Vidhi Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. The Lord is the Paramatma, the Atma or super self of all individual souls. Therefore, it must naturally be concluded that he has no defective bodily conceptions. Always situated in everyone's body, he has no bodily conception of life. He is always free from such conceptions and thus he cannot be affected by anything in relation to the material body of the jiva. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16.19, Tanham dvishatah kruran samsareshu naradamam Kshipami ajashram ashubhan asurishveva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Whenever the Lord punishes persons like demons, however, such punishment is meant for the good of the conditioned souls. The conditioned soul, being envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, may accuse him saying, Krishna is bad, Krishna is a thief, and so on. But Krishna, being kind to all living entities, does not consider such accusations. Instead, he takes account of the conditioned soul's chanting of Krishna, Krishna so many times. He sometimes punishes such demons for one life by putting them in a lower species. But then, when they have stopped accusing him, they are liberated in the next life because of chanting Krishna's name constantly. Blaspheming the Supreme Lord or his devotee is not at all good for the conditioned soul. But Krishna, being very kind, punishes the conditioned soul in one life for such sinful activities and then takes him back home, back to Godhead. The vivid example for this is Vritrasura, who was formerly Chitraketu Maharaja, a great devotee. Because he derided Lord Shiva, the foremost of all devotees, he had to accept the body of a demon called Vritra. But then he was taken back to Godhead. Thus, when Krishna punishes a demon or conditioned soul, he stops that soul's habit of blaspheming him, and when the soul becomes completely pure, the Lord takes him back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Vuta Patakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagna Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyas Nebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome you all to this Sunday feast program at Shri Shri Gandharva Giridhari Mandir. So I take this opportunity as to glorify Bhagavatam as a self-purification process. So I need all the prayers and blessings of all the devotees here. And I also pray to the Guru Parampara and previous Acharyas so that I be able to glorify and talk something that I have heard from the senior devotees, my Guru Maharaj and the Guru Parampara. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So today's verse is a conversation between Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. It's a long shloka, and I thought today's class we can discuss based on the second half of the translation, where the Lord says, because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I and mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. This is impossible for him, thus he has no enemy and no friend. When he chastises the demons, it is for their good, and when he accepts the prayers of the devotees, it is for their good. He is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. In fact, the continuation of this is also given in the next shloka. I'll just read out the translation, which is the topic which we are going to focus today. Therefore, by enmity or by devotional service, by fear, by affection or by lusty desire, by all of these or any one of them, if a conditioned soul somehow or other concentrates his mind upon the Lord, the result is the same, for the Lord, because of his blissful position, is never affected by enmity or friendship. So, there are a couple of. First one, what this verse tries to explain is that the Lord is impartial. He's not partial. That's the first point. And the next point is that he is not affected by enmity or friendship. So basically the understanding is, even when we have a negative encounter with the Lord or his devotees, it is ultimately for our good. Now, throughout the scriptures, Lord is saying, I am equal to everyone. I don't show any partiality. But at the same time, I am partial to devotees. Now, to understand this statement is a little bit confusing. Now, either Lord has to say that he is equal to everyone, or on the other hand, he has to say, no, I am very partial to my devotees. Devotees are very special to me. Now, this is like, he's saying that I am equal to everyone, but at the same time, he's saying I am partial to devotees. Today, in my Bhakti Vaibhav class, Prabhu was saying that this is the atheists, they make a general statement. They don't directly say that there is no God. They say that I don't deny that there is no God, but it will be nice if God was there. So this is how they say. So it's kind of a very cultured way of saying that there is no God. They say I don't deny that there is no God, which means the first half of the answer is there is God. Then they say that it would have been nice if God is there, God was there. Because there are so many issues going around the world in Gaza, around the world, a lot of terrorism activities, and so many poor people are dying. It would have been nice if God was there. So this is how they put it very trickily. So even here, Lord is saying, I am equal to everyone. But at the same time, I'm partial to this, only to my devotees. Right? How do we understand this statement? For example, take a mother. A mother has two children. One boy is very, very intelligent and self-sufficient. He is able to do all his activities alone. She also has a second child. Now the second child is a little bit handicapped. Maybe physically or mentally not up to that level. So what happens? Very naturally, the mother's affection and care goes towards that kid who is challenged physically and mentally, right? Does this mean that she does not love her first son who is very intelligent? No. The love is there equally for both of them. Then why is she more affectionate towards the second child? Yes? Yes, dependent. Because the second child is more dependent on the mother. Right? That is why even though a mother loves both the children equally, she is more inclined towards her second child who is more dependent on her. So this is what Krishna means. He is equal to all his children. Aham bija pratapitaha. But since devotees are more dependent on Krishna, they are little bit partial for the Lord. So that is why the Lord here says that everyone is equal for them, but devotees are partial. In fact, not only human beings, but Lord is very, very caring and reciprocative to all the living entities for that matter. You can see once, actually, Akrura was uncle of Krishna. So Akrura was serving as a minister of Kamsa, and when Kamsa ordered Akrura to go and bring Krishna, so it is mentioned that when Akrura was going, he drove a chariot from Mathura to Vrindavana. And these two horses which he was riding, actually it is said that Akrura was completely in the thoughts of Krishna. That he was just anticipating, when will I meet Krishna and Balram? Will they accept me? So he was just completely in a meditative mood, and he was going in the chariot. It was a day's journey. It was a long journey. Then in those days, it was not so easy, right? So it is said that when Akrura was riding, he did not have any food. The moment Kamsa, he heard instructions from Kamsa to bring Krishna, he did not eat anything. And Shastra says that even these horses somehow understood they are going to meet the Lord. And these horses also, they also did not eat anything. Actually, on the way from Mathura to Vrindavan, it is said the pathway which Akrura traveled, on the one side there was lot of field and grasses, and on the other side there was Yamuna river. So these horses had all the chances to eat some grass or drink some water, but these horses chose not to drink anything. And the reason is that these horses were actually, in Ramayana, these horses were the horses of Rama's chariot. And when actually Rama was cursed, was asked to go to Vanavasa, he comes in a chariot. Actually, the charioteer leaves Rama to the forest. He accompanies him to the forest and leaves him. Actually, Rama was fasting. Rama was fasting because a day before his father told him that tomorrow is your Pattabhishekam, so you have to fast. So he has fasted. And the very next day, very surprisingly, he got to know that all this conversation has happened between Kaikeyi and Dasharatha Maharaj. So then Rama was told to leave home and go to the forest. So the entire day is gone. The next day is also gone. Rama did not eat because he had to meet his father, then he had to meet Sita Mai, And then there is a big conversation that Sita Mata also wanted to accompany Ram, and then Lakshman wanted to come. So then Dashrath Maharaj says Sumatra, who is a charioteer, to accompany Ram till the border of Ayodhya. So then they come, the whole day is passed, and that day night they meet Guha, the king of the forest, who stays in the border of Ayodhya. And then they go to sleep. And the next day morning, Guha comes and he asks Ram, Lord, it's been so many days. In fact, they all go, assistants go and tell Guha that the Lord has not taken food. It's the third day today. He's already been fasting from 2 days. So then Guha goes and he gathers some roots, and he brings it to the Lord. And the Lord, before he takes, right, he says, no, first you serve all the other people, because even they are fasting. And even before that, he says that those 2 horses which I traveled, even they have not eaten anything. They have not even drank any water, because everyone is bothered about me. Because I left Ayodhya, everyone was bothered about me, and they totally forgot about the horse. So they are starving. I will take this, but before this, can you serve water to these horses? And that is how Guha takes and goes and gives water to those horses. And these 2 horses are the very same horses which comes in Krishna Leela as those horses of the chariot of Akrura. And they actually remember their previous life. And they came to know that they are going to meet their Lord. And then so they thought that let us not drink water again or food, because the moment I go and meet my Lord, the Lord will serve me water and food. So we can see how the Lord is so much caring, right? There is that story, I'm not going into the pastime, in Kurukshetra Yuddha, where Lord saved those sparrows in the battlefield. Before the war, there was a sparrow on the tree, and somehow Lord very trickily, he asked Arjuna to give an arrow. Arjuna said, Krishna, you are not supposed to take weapons. What are you doing? He said, you just pass the arrows, and he shot an arrow. Arjuna thought he is shooting the arrow on the elephant, but it somehow missed elephant and hit the bell of the elephant, the bell, big bell which elephant was wearing. So Arjuna thought in his mind, how come Lord is missing? Maybe he's not very good in archery. But then the bell came and fell on the nest of the birds, sparrow, and for the next 18 days they were saved. In fact, the eggs were not even hatched. And after the end of the 18th day, when the bell was taken out, all these small sparrows, they were still alive. So like that, whether we pray or we don't pray to the Lord exclusively, the Lord is always saving us in each and every moment. That is why once one devotee, she wanted, it was a Ekadashi day. After Ekadashi, it was Dwadashi, and this devotee wanted to call some Vaishnava Brahmanas to home and serve them nice prasadam. So she called one devotee, some Brahmana, he had a Brahmanical thread. So this Mataji called her, served him nice big feast, and on Dwadashi day. So this person nicely enjoyed the feast. And after the feast, this Mataji said, okay, now can we have some Krishna Katha and Kirtan? So to her surprise, this so-called devotee said that, why are you wasting your time in discussing Krishna Katha? All this is very, very bogus. See, I don't pray to Lord, but see, I got the food. How is that possible? So you don't have to be a devotee. So like this, he chastised the Lord, left, right. So this Mataji felt very, very hurted. She couldn't identify. She saw this guy is outwardly very nice, dressed up like a devotee. She thought he's a very pure Vaishnava, and she called and served. Then she started weeping to the Lord. She went to the altar and she started weeping. Oh Lord, I wanted to serve. It's Dwadashi day, I wanted to do some Vaishnava seva. My intentions were very pure, but you somehow this guy was an atheist and he's completely chastising you. And I feel very bad. And my Dwadashi Seva is also spoiled. Like this, she was weeping. So then Lord appeared in front of her. He said that just for this one instance that somebody scolded you, you are crying like this. You just imagine there are so many atheists in this world. On a daily basis, they are scolding me. They are against me. They are doing all kind of nonsense. Then how should I feel? Right? So that is what the shloka says. The Lord is not affected by any enmity or friendship. In fact, he's not affected even when someone disrespects him. And how to understand this? Any negative encounter, whether it is good encounter, even if it is a bad or negative encounter, if it is with the Lord or his devotees, sometimes it is good. And we can see the good example of Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai had a negative experience with whom? Nityananda Mahaprabhu. They offended him. But then ultimately the result was they got Krishna Prema. And similarly you see Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Nalakuvera and Manigriva offended a great Vaishnava like Narada Muni. And what happened at the end? They were delivered by the Lord himself. In fact, it is said that Acharya says that Lord, even before he delivered Nalakuvera and Manigriva, he said that I am delivering you only because of my devotee Narada. So that's how Lord is. So on the one hand, there are people who disrespected him, who offended his Vaishnavas, devotees. On the other hand, there are his devotees. And you can see them, he is treating them almost very equally. Even Nalakuvera and Manigriva attained what was supposed to be attained. And of course, Narada was already a liberated soul. So, anger is a form of compassion. Anger is sometimes a form of compassion, especially when it comes from the Lord or his devotees. And as practicing sadhakas, we have to understand, because sometimes even in our Krishna conscious life, we go through a lot of, we deal with a lot of devotees, and especially if we are not very progressed in Krishna consciousness or not very elevated, we come across all these small issues between devotees, misunderstandings. And it is very, very important for us to understand and carry this mood. Sometimes know when this scoldings or some anger moments comes from devotees, it is very much a blessing for us. No, it is very much a compassion for us, because it is definitely good. See, maybe our karma is that today we have to get some auto driver or some from shopkeeper from outside the temple. So better than that, it is better than that to get scoldings from the devotees inside the temple, right? It is much better, because one thing guaranteed is at least the devotees in the temple will not use harsh languages. They will just become anger externally. But definitely they are not going to hit you or use some harsh languages. So that way Krishna is definitely saving us, right? Which means your karma is still taking place. The reaction is still there. But Krishna is making that reaction also very transcendental. That is why in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, whoever comes under the glance of Nitai, he is delivered. Aha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi, Kripa Bolo Kana Koro, Ami Boro Duki. Anyone who comes under the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu is delivered once for all. This Kirtan means, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, oh Nityananda Mahaprabhu, you are always happy and blissful. And because you are happy, you make everyone happy also. And I am an unhappy person. So please glance over me so that I also become happy and come out of these miseries of this life. So, you can see Jagai and Madai, they were so fallen. The moment they came under the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu, they got delivered. Same thing with Raghunath Das Goswami, a positive scenario. But still he was not able to get delivered. He was not even able to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not able to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the moment he came under the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu, even Raghunath Das, thanks. Sorry, wait, I stop. Yeah, Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami, the moment he came under the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu, he got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we might be thinking, how do we get Nityananda Mahaprabhu's mercy? For we devotees, the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu is the glance of the spiritual master. Once we get the glance of the spiritual master and all these elevated Vaishnavas, then we are also delivered. It is as good as getting the glance of Nityananda Mahaprabhu. That is why it is very, very important when any sannyasis or any senior Vaishnavas or when our spiritual masters, they visit our temples, no, whatever other business we have, even though it might be a spiritual program, we should all keep it aside and make sure that we come here, because we can be putting hundreds and thousands of efforts for our preaching, but those efforts can be very easily achieved just by getting the glance and mercy of these elevated Vaishnavas, because they have seen the truth, they are realized souls, right? And because they are realized souls, those positive vibes or those positive energy, which we call as mercy, that flows from them, is more than enough. And once we come and take that blessing and go, then we can conduct thousands such programs single-handedly, because we are not doing it, because it's because of the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnavas. So that is how Nityananda Mahaprabhu's glance is very, very capturing. And like I said, it is flowing through his pure devotees, the spiritual master. It is said that the glance of a pure devotee is also very capturing. The mercy of pure devotee is very, very capturing. That is how Srila Prabhupada was able to do this wonder. He was able to capture so many souls. All these were hippies, and he said, I made all the hippies into happies. Once, Giriraj Maharaj, he was actually from a very affluent family, very, very rich, and that too, he was American, and we can't even imagine. So once what happened when Prabhupada was in America, Giriraj Maharaj's parents, father and mother, came to meet Srila Prabhupada. And the moment he came in front of Srila Prabhupada, he took a blank check and he kept it in front of Prabhupada and said, you take whatever you want, it's all yours. Just leave my son. Why are you holding back my son? That's how rich Giriraj Swami was. And Prabhupada saw this and he called, Giriraj, come here, your parents have come. So they have offered me a blank check. They are calling you. Why don't you go with them? Prabhupada says, I have not holded anyone back. You can take your son if he comes. So Prabhupada says, do you want to go with him? So Giriraj Swami says, no, I don't want to go, Prabhupada. I want to serve you, life after life. So then Prabhupada said, I don't know, this is your problem, because I am not holding him back. Then this father, he became little annoyed. Then after some time he said that, Swamiji, looks like you are very, very intelligent, because I don't know what magic you are doing. You are somehow trying to keep all these boys. I don't not only see my son, but there are also so many other people. Prabhupada says, yes, I am definitely intelligent. That is why all these intelligent boys are with me. He says, you are also intelligent. That's why you have given birth to an intelligent son. So like this conversation is going, then Prabhupada notices that the mother of Giriraj Swami Maharaj is crying. She's crying, not at all able to console. Prabhupada asks her husband, why is she crying? What is the problem? Then Giriraj Swami Maharaj's father says that she is having that motherly affection. She's thinking that, what will my son eat? This is like an ashram. No, she's more than her son staying here, she's bothered about what my son will eat. This is the mindset of all the mothers, parents, right? They will happily say, oh son, you don't study in India. You should go outside, get a nice degree, so that you will get a nice career, and even we can be proud of. No, we can tell around, go around the neighbors and say that my son or daughter is in Australia, America. So then they send it. But then after the son or daughter goes, the main worry the mothers have is that, no, oh, what will my son eat or daughter eat? Is he eating that pizzas and burgers daily? Your body, your health will get spoiled. So like this, Giridhar Swami Maharaj's mother also was feeling, I don't know what he is eating, that is what is troubling me. And Prabhupada said, oh, don't worry. Eating is our first activity. That is what we give preference to. Do you want to see what we eat? So Prabhupada called his servants and asked them to bring some Mahaprasadam. And also those days, readily either what we call as Iskcon bullets, gulab jamuns or rasgullas are there in every centers. Prabhupada makes sure that it is there. Then Prabhupada asks his servants to bring that rasgulla also, along with lot of Mahaprasadam. And he says, he offers it to Giridhar Swami's mother. So she does not accept it. She is little hesitant because she is already very angry, sad. Then Prabhupada, no, he was a very intelligent. Prabhupada was very intelligent. He did not say prasadam. And for Americans, we know what we have to say. Prabhupada said, take, this is protein. And he gave it, she accepted immediately. Oh, protein, very nice. Then she had this prasadam. The moment she had this prasadam, she became happy. She thought that, oh, my son is eating well, he's happy. And then finally they were there. They thought they will stay there for some more days and try to convince about to take him back. But ultimately they got to know that, he also said that, see there, I'm staying here for 1 week. There, my car is there, Prabhupada, why don't you use it? You can use this car. So like that, at the end, so without any positive result for them, they left. And while leaving, his father said, looks like your Swamiji is a very smart guy. And it's a very right place for you to stay here. So like this, he left. So that is how these pure devotees, they are very, very capturing. Dhira dhira janapriya, priya karau, it is said that. So these, they are janapriya, they are very capturing. They are likened by everyone. That is why it is said that Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was called Ajata Shatru. What does Ajata Shatru means? No enemies. But Yudhishthira had lot of enemies. He had Kauravas, his own cousins, right? What does it mean? No enemies means they might have enemies, but they will not consider others as their enemies. That is what it means. Even though Yudhishthira, others were considering Yudhishthira as their enemies, Yudhishthira did not consider anyone as his enemy. He was completely compassionate. And through his activities, he was captivating everyone. So this is how pure devotees are. So, like I was saying, coming to the point, even the negative experiences, you see Kamsa. Kamsa had 2 wives, Asti and Prapti. They were the daughters of Jarasandha. And it is said that in Mahabharata, at one point of time, Kamsa was thinking so much of Krishna Balram, especially after they entered into Dwaraka. He was so much thinking of Krishna Balram that when he was lying down in the bedroom and when Asti and Prapti were entering the bedroom, he thought it is Krishna and Balram who is coming. And he was started shouting, Krishna Balram, Krishna Balram. And Asti and Prapti were like, what happened to you? Why are you saying we are not Krishna Balram? We are your wives. So that is how he was so much engrossed in their thoughts. Right? So even negatively, he was always thinking about the Lord. And it is here said that Uddhava, when Uddhava met the gopis in Vrindavan, even the gopis were in the same state of mind. When Uddhava was giving a class and the gopis were listening, they were all exalted devotees. And these gopis, all of a sudden in between the class, one gopi would get up and she would show her end of the sari, tip of the sari and say that, come, everyone come under, because Indra is going to pour rain. So they were trying to, completely engrossed in the thoughts of Krishna. They just went into Govardhan Leela. Another gopi would jump into the shoulder of one more gopi and say that, I am going to kill you, you Kaliya. So like this, they used to enact so many number of pastimes. And Uddhava himself was a great devotee and he was amazed He thought this gopis does not have any limit. They have crossed the limits. They are in the stage of what you call as affection. Affection means, English term is very plain, but when we translate into in spiritually, right, it is a stage of mada. It is a stage of madness, transcendental madness. There are actually 5 stages. The first one is attraction, and then comes attention, and after attention comes attachment. After attachment comes absorption, and finally after absorption comes affection. What is attraction? Attraction means, as practicing devotees, we are all attracted to the devotional process. But the problem is, along with attraction, we also have distraction. That is, sometimes we are attracted to Krishna, sometimes we are attracted to Maya. When we are in Sunday feast in the temple, we are attracted to Krishna. Once we go out of the temple, after we cross this gate, we are attracted to Maya. And then again we go to home, temple, we do deity worship, we are attracted to Krishna. From the home we live to office, we are attracted to Maya. So it is like a up and down stage. This is called attraction. And then after this stage comes attention, which is little bit we have. That is why it is said that we have to be very careful with Maya. Prabhupada says that you should make sure that you don't leave Maya inside your house. This Maya is like that salesperson who comes knocking your door. You will think that whatever happens, I will not buy. But let me I am anyways free. It is so boring. Let me see what this guy is having. Let me ask him to make one demo. Or let me try what he is trying to tell, so that even I will get one time pass. So then you go stand near the gate. Tell buy. So okay, what products do you have? What is it useful? So that guy goes on explaining. So this Mataji thinks, oh, looks like it is little bit genuine. So she says, why are you standing outside in the sun? Why don't you come inside? So then you open the door for that person who is in the form of Maya. Then you open, this person comes and sits in your sofa, you offer some drink. Then he's got a lot of time now. Now in front of the gate itself, he explained it so beautifully for you. Now you are bringing him inside. It is much more nice place and very comfort. So in the AC, he makes sure that he convinces you. And finally, you thought that you will never buy. And the most funniest thing is, you will already be having that product. And in spite of that, you will buy. So this is a little more advanced. So this is what Maya does. We will think that, okay, I think we have done a lot of spiritual activities. Today, Sunday morning, I went for Mangalarti, Seva, Bhagavatam class, meetings. Till evening, I was in the temple. So why don't I see in the evening maybe one small movie? Or maybe why don't I do something very material? That's okay. 12 hours I have spent spiritually. Just 2 hours, nothing is going to happen. So that last 2 hours, which at the end of the day, which you are going to spend materially, will actually have a prabhava on the next day. That 2 hours is going to have an impact on the next day of your life. When I say have an impact on next day, it's going to have an impact on the next day on your life to be Krishna consciousness. And then it continues. Maybe you saw half of the movie and half is left over. So next day you continue watching it, otherwise I'll forget. So then it is like this. So this is how we should not give the gap for that Maya, even for 1 minute. It is like that, what do you say, that dogs which wear the belt, right? They are always safe from the dog catchers. When the dog catchers come, they see that, oh, this dog is having a belt, which means it's a licensed. It has an owner who is taking care of the dog properly. And it is being fed. It is free from infections. But all these road dogs which are just wandering here and there, they are the ones who get caught. So we are all like the dogs, and our belt is this Kantimala. So we are all under the shelter of Krishna. So the moment Maya sees us, right? So we have to always catch hold of Krishna. Otherwise, we become we get caught by these dog catchers in the form of Maya, and it is very, very difficult. So anyways, this is the first step, which is attraction, where it is not very pure. We also have alternate distraction. And then comes attention. Now, attention means little bit focused. And when that focus comes, when we are constantly attentive, right? We say, no, by practice, we get constantly attentive in our chanting. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangostesho pujayate. That is what Bhagavad Gita also says. If you are focused, contemplating on the objects of senses, you get attached. It is not only for sense gratification, it is true for Krishna conscious also. The more you are attentive towards the Lord, so then you become Krishna consciousness. This is what you say as prolonged attention. That is why we always, it is always good that we bring our children to temple all the time. Sometimes a lot of parents have complaints that we are all practicing, we are all second initiated, but our children are not even practicing. They are very far. That is because we have not given them prolonged exposure to Krishna consciousness. We always have the smartphones in our hand, and we expect our children to always hold books in their hand. A couple of days I saw a beautiful article. It did not have anything, it was just a picture. And it saw that in a metro, a father is holding a book and reading. And on his lap, there is also a small baby holding, and he is also holding one small book and reading. And in below they have written that, I don't remember the exact statement, but they have written that, no, sometimes you don't have to preach to your children. You just follow and your children learns from that. So that is why nowadays parents, the biggest mistake what we do is, we always have smartphones in our hand and we preach to our children that, Baba, no mobile phones. We say, sometimes we don't do things and we ask our children to do it. And nowadays children are very, very intelligent, right? They question back, Papa, first you do it, then you tell me, right? So when we have to give that prolonged exposure to kids. No, when we come to temple, bring to the temple, you can see sometimes small children, very, very, I can see, what's that Prabhu's name? Our Rajanath Prabhu's Chaitanya is such a small baby, and I was so amazed to see that he plays Mridanga so nicely. We see sometimes very, very small children, initially 1 or 2 weeks, they come, they sit in the kirtan, they will be so much concentrated, they will be concentrating on how these Prabhujis are playing Mridanga. And after some time, we see that this 3rd, 4th week, you can see this child sitting and playing Mridanga. And sometimes they are attracted, they just see how the pujari is doing service to the deities. So they absorb a lot, because this age of 7, 8, maybe till 9, 10, it is a very innocent age. Even by force, you cannot push through anarthas within their heart. Even by force, nobody can make them very dirty or dirty-minded. It is a very, very pure age. And this is the age you have to just leave your children. Of course, it does not mean that you bring them, hey, sit in Bhagavatam class, listen, no, make down points. It's not like that. I mean, we have to respect their age, and we have to respect their playful nature. So the whole point is keeping them along with us. That is very, very important. And you might not see a result in first few months, but this prolonged exposure, what happens is, their attention is completely focused. The moment Saturday night comes, they know that, okay, next day our program is there in the temple. So even at some point of time, even if parents are not able to come, they make sure that sometimes I've seen when parents are fallen sick, their children say that, hey, I have Vaikunta class, you please drop me. So like that they say. So it is very, very important. And as they grow up, right, and they become self-sufficient, and that is what they also teach to their children. So this is how it grows. And once these are all very basics. Sometimes as parents, we think a lot. We go to so many sannyasis, or we go to so many people. We go to all these, marriage counselors, grahastha counselors, and put forward this question. It is like a big rocket science. My child is not in Krishna consciousness. What should I do? But it all sits there. It's all the very basic things that you just give them exposure. It is all taken care. No, they become self-sufficient. So this is what is about attention, paying attention, right? So when we pay that attention, then we always get filled with that good samskaras, right? And then comes attachment. So then initially it is attraction, then you pay attention, then now it is attachment. You feel kind of attached to Lord. So when you start doing service with a little more love, sometimes when you leave home, sometimes there are some devotees who doesn't want to travel at all because they feel that deities are also there at home. Or some devotees, what they do, we can see this traveling sannyasis or some devotees, they carry their deities. So that is the kind of attachment because they consider that deity also is as one person in the house. It is very, very important. Sometimes devotees, what we do is, I knew one devotee that he moved out of Bangalore. He was staying in Bangalore and he moved out of Bangalore. And he had this Gaurnitai deities. And what he did is he took this Gaurnitai deities and he just gave it to some devotees. And that devotee was not even initiated. I mean, it was so painful. It's not about somebody is there to take care, but it is about how can you give your children to someone else. Right? You are taking care of those children. They were eating with you, along with you at your house. They were going to bed. They were sleeping along with you all. They were protecting you all for so many days. Right? So this is what is the devotion with attachment. These kind of thoughts comes when our devotional service is not very, very mechanical. That's why when we travel, we'll have to at least make sure that, there are some devotees who are there to take care of our deities. We should not just leave them closed under an altar and just leave it. If there are some devotees to take care who already has a deities, you have to make sure that when you're traveling for a yatra for 1 week or 1 year, 1 month, you take the deities and give it to those devotees so that the daily offering and things are going on. And in worst case scenario, if you're in a very remote place, at least keep some dry fruits and some water and pray to the Lord and ask permission that, no, I'm not here for so many days, so I will do Manasa Puja. So please take care of yourself, my Lord. So this is how we'll have to take care, right? So this is what is attachment. Now, after attachment comes absorption. Absorption means you're completely oblivious from the outside world. You completely don't even know. Sometimes we see that when we go to Mayapur or we go to some yatra, we totally forget which day and which date it is, right? Because we are completely in a spiritual atmosphere along with devotees, enjoying the satsang. And this is what is absorption. Unfortunately, for us it stays only for 1 week. Once we come back from Mayapur, then it doesn't stay for a long time. But this is what is absorption. You are completely absorbed. And this is also one of the stages in chanting. Energy, focus, and absorption are the 3 ingredients that one should have in one's japa. He has to be very energetic while he chants, which means very enthusiasm chanting. And the second one is very focus. Completely focused, and it's like an appointment. Say, for example, you have an interview appointment in your office, right? How do we go? We are first of all very formally dressed. We make sure our phones are in the silent mode, and we make sure that we are completely away from the external disturbances, and then we are completely focused on what the interviewer is asking us. What kind of question will he ask? And even before you attend the interview, you are meditating on what this person will go to ask, is about to ask. How should I answer it? Right? This is the mindset. When you are sitting in the interview, will you say that, sir, 1 second, my wife is calling. Let me answer. Okay, today night, I don't want upma. Better you do chapati. Will we say that? No, it is complete absorption. That is how we should have. That kind of an appointment is what we should have in our japa. That is, even before we start our japa, we have to start meditating that how I should approach this 16 rounds. How I should be chanting this 16 rounds. We have to take that small little baby steps. Sometimes even we know this theoretically, the only reason we commit mistake is we think too far away. We will think about tomorrow's chanting, day after tomorrow's chanting, how I have to chant for next 1 month. That is not going to help us. Actually, in that book called the Japa, Brijan Prabhu is very nicely mentioned that you have to actually concentrate on the current mantra, not even that one full mantra. If you are chanting Hare, you have to concentrate on Hare. Don't think about the previous mantra. Don't think about the mantra which is going to come in the future. Next, you just chant and meditate on that current mantra. So it's that small little baby steps that which we have to take, and it is very, very important in Krishna conscious life that one should never try to jump ahead, whether it be chanting, whether it be our seva, even initiation for that matter. Sometimes it is very, very good that we go take a very slow and relaxed step. Because sometimes we see the devotees, the day one, they chant 16 rounds. Within 1.5 years, they get initiated. And the second year, they are not seen to be in temple only. So I have seen like that. No, one person got aspired from one Maharaj. He wanted to take aspiration. He came to Mayapur. He got aspired from one Maharaj. He took shelter from another Maharaj. And what he did is, there were already some devotees who were already sheltered. He said that, hey, you know this Maharaj, you get sheltered from him. He also changed those devotees. And finally, initiation he took from another Maharaj. And last 2 months back, he had called me for his wedding. I asked him, what you are doing? He said, Prabhu, somehow I am not at all chanting. No, I am down. So he was very quick, very, very quick. He was organizing Kirtan Melas, so many things. It all happened just within a matter of 2 years. Now he is initiated with his wife. Anyways, the point is that absorption, we'll have to be very absorbed. And finally comes affection. And this affection is a stage of madness, pagal. You're completely mad. Once Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was giving a lecture, he said, the goal of all the devotees is to become mad. So then all the devotees were looking at each other. So that the goal of all the devotees is to become mad about Madan Mohan, he said. So which means he said, the goal of all the devotees in life is to become mad about Madan Mohan. In fact, if you see the Sanskrit word Mada is actually madness. Right? It was, so that is what he is saying. In fact, once what happened, Haridas Thakur went and complained to, I think, Advaita Charya. He said that, Advaita Charya, I have a complaint. This, I feel very bad that I have joined this Nityananda Mahaprabhu. I have become his preaching partner. That's the biggest mistake I have done. Because you know what? He is going and preaching to people like Jagai and Madai. And this Nityananda Mahaprabhu, he is very fast in running. He is somehow escaping. And I am getting caught. Sometimes I am almost in the verge of getting beatings. So then, I have made a big mistake. Why did you all make me the preaching partner of Nityananda Mahaprabhu? Then Advaita Charya laughs. Good. You should want like that only. Who asked you to associate with that mad fellow? He says. Advaita Charya. There is no difference between Jagai and Madai and Nityananda Mahaprabhu. Both are mad people. The only difference is that, no, not mad people. He says, who asked you to associate with that drunkard Nityananda Mahaprabhu? Both Jagai, Madai and Nityananda Mahaprabhu are also drunkards. They are mad people. The only difference is that Jagai and Madai are drunk with alcohol, and Nityananda Mahaprabhu is drunken with the Harinam mantra. This is what he says. So like that. And there is another example where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he goes to Gaya to do his Pindadana to his father, Jagannath Mishra. And then we all know, it's a long story, he meets his spiritual master, Ishwarapuri. He gets initiated. The moment he gets initiated, he thinks that, okay, now my life is perfected, now let me go to Vrindavan. Then all of a sudden the Akashadwani comes and says that you have to go to Mayapur. And you have to go and preach in Bengal. The moment Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got initiated, there is a complete transformation in his body. He started chanting, he started dancing, he started laughing. He was not at all eating on time.
And in the same condition, he came to Mayapur. He's seeing Mother Sachimata is seeing what happened to my son. He's completely engrossed in Krishna Bhakti. He was chanting, dancing, laughing, smiling. Sometimes he was fainting. All the people of Mayapur started coming to see what happened to Mahaprabhu. This boy, Krishna Chaitanya Nimai Pandit was so nice. The moment he went to Gaya, something has happened to him. Some people came and said, Sachimata, I think some ghost has caught him. You have to go to some pujari or some person and make sure that ghost is got ridden. Then some people said that he's gone mad, you have to tie him. Some people came and told that he's got some disease. This is some disease. You cannot keep him at home. You cannot keep him in this town at all because we also will get. This looks very baffling. So then people were coming. Sachimata got very angry. She said, all of you people leave my house first. I know what to do with my child. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did not know why people are speaking like this. He goes to Srivas Thakur. He goes to Srivas Thakur and says that, Srivas Thakur, all these people are saying that I have gone mad. All these people are saying that I have got some ghost is got into my body. All people are saying that I have got some disease. Can you please check and let me know? Am I really going through that disease? Then Srivas checks. He is like a doctor. He is checking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is checking. He is holding his hands. He says, Mahaprabhu, what they have told is correct. You have a disease. Mahaprabhu is like, oh really? I have a disease? What disease is that? Srivas Thakur says that, before I tell that, can you promise me that, can you also give me this disease? Can you also transfer this disease to me? And Mahaprabhu said, no, what are you saying? I don't understand. Yes, you have a very, very troublesome disease, and you have the disease of Krishna Prema that is entered into your heart. And that is how you have, and that's how Mahaprabhu then, he starts that Leela in Srivas Thakur's house. That is when they decide, from today onwards, we'll gather together in the night, we'll start that Sankirtana movement. And that is how the Sankirtana Yajna in Kali Yuga was started in the house of Srivas Thakur in Srivas Angan. Anyone who visits Mayapur, this is the most important place to visit, because that is the place exactly in Mayapur where this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Sankirtana Yajna was born. So like this, I was talking about this madness to explain the stage of Mada or affection. So these are the 5 stages, and we have to go through, transmigrate through each of the stage. What is the first stage? Attraction. Second, attention. Third, attachment. Fourth, absorption. And fifth, affection. How many of us are in the stage of affection? Absorption. Attraction. Good, wonderful. Attention. Attraction. First stage. Nobody is in the first stage also? I think all of us are by default in the first stage, because we go like this, ups and downs, and which is very natural for a practicing devotee. There's nothing wrong. That's why I was sometimes there's some video that was posted. There Maharaj says, right, even when you see the heartbeat, it is not, if it is a blank line, that which means you are out of this world or you are dead. It is sometimes very good to have that ups and downs. See, sometimes as devotees, we always feel that, why it is happening. And it is sometimes good to have those hardships in our lives, because it teaches us a lot of realizations. So only if the sugary stuff is there, and if we don't undergo these tough times and tough realizations, then it will not make us tough, both as a person and as a devotee. Sometimes it is very good for us to taste both this. And after all, Krishna is saying Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, which means the material nature itself is like that. And we very easily have 2 advantages. All our happiness, right, they don't, they have an expiry date. The happiness is temporary, whatever we have. It does not stay for a long time. When we all were in our 10th standard, we would have all got distinction, 90%. On that very day, we were celebrating a big party within the family. Do we today, even today, catch over of our marks card and run around, hey, I got 90% in 10th standard? No, those days are gone. That is a different uh, uh, happiness altogether. It is gone. So that is the first disadvantage of happiness. It is temporary. And second disadvantage is, along with all the happiness, there is a misery. Happiness just, it comes as a package. Whatever you do, the entire package will have both happiness and miseries. The percentage might differ. Either it will be 70-30 or 90-10, 99-1, 50-50, but it is still there. It is definitely there. It will not come alone. Somebody said he bought a very, very costliest car, and somebody asked him, which was your happiest day after you bought this car? He said, in fact, the happiest day for me was the day before I bought this car. If I'm going to buy tomorrow, today evening I was very happy. Because the moment I bought this car, my whole tension was, what will happen if some scratches come on this car? Because it is such a costliest car. Somebody is happy about getting promoted. He's got good hike. But along with the promotion comes transform. He's transferred to some North India, from South India, or from North India to South India. He's got the happiness of getting the promotion and good money, but he's got the misery of leaving his family and go away. So it is a package, it will come together only. We cannot do anything about it. So sometimes ups and downs are it's very natural in our lives. And that is what Bhagavad Gita teaches. It only teaches us to be, how to be equipoised in these situations. This is one very key lesson which Bhagavad Gita teaches. Right? And as practicing devotees, we don't try to run away from problems. We try to learn how to be equipoised in these situations. That is the actual learning. Okay, so, and you can see from the example of, we should not misunderstand that, okay, even in a negative way, if we serve the Lord is satisfied. See, what the Lord says is, Lord is not affected by these things. He is not affected, but it does not mean that he likes it. Mushtika and Chanura were punching the Lord. The Lord was laughing. It does not mean that he is accepting the devotional service of Mushtika and Chanura. On the other hand, Yashoda Maya was sometimes beating Krishna. Krishna was crying. Yashoda Mata was troubling Krishna. But the whole point of the intention of Yashoda Maya was love towards Krishna. So Krishna accepted that love and devotional service. Yenne Aravindaksha Vimuktamaninas Tvayastabhava Avishuddha Buddhaya Aruhya Krichrena Param Padam Tatha Patantyata Nadruta Yusmad Angrayaha. Lord says, this is a conversation between Brahma and the demigods. Brahma and demigods says that some people may think that all these austerities and penances that are more than enough to attain, to get liberated. But unless and until they get attracted to the lotus feet of the Lord, Aravindaksha, they get attracted to the lotus feet of the Lord, then nothing is useful. That is what he says. So it is very, very important for us, because sometimes people, no matter what, they will not change. Prabhupada says there are 3 or 4 kind of devotees. One person, he sees that somebody else is doing mistake, and automatically he'll learn a lesson. Oh, this person does a mistake. Say, for example, you see someone doing a robbery and he gets caught by the police, he's punished. The other robber thing, an intelligent robber will think that, okay, if I also do this, I also will get I will also get the punishment. So better to avoid. So this is the first class people. This is what they think. Even applies to devotees also. Sometimes we see some other devotees doing some mistake, and they fall down and all these things. We have to, it's not that we have to first of all feel pity for the devotee, and also we have to take a lesson. How careful we have to be not to commit the same mistake. And then there are second kind of devotees who think that, okay, anyways, it has not happened to me. And the second kind of person is that a person will come and tell that, don't do this mistake, right? It is not very good. And maybe a police comes and says, robber, see, you saw the other thief, right? He got punished. So if you do it, you also will get punished. Better be careful. So then this second fellow who is second level intelligent will think that, okay, better to be careful. Let me not do it. Now there is Third level person will think that anyway, still it has not happened to me. So we'll see. And then it will happen to his own life. He will go through all this punishment, hardships, and then he will think that, okay, now whatever I saw is true. It has happened to me also. So at least now I have to become proper. So then he will change. At least that third fellow is somewhat okay. But then there is fourth type of person. Even after it happening to him, he will still not change. You can see some thieves, the moment they come out, they will commit some other crime and they will again go back inside. So which means these are the kind of people they get caught. So some people, they don't change at all. There was one person who went, one doctor who visited one village. So that village was already filled with lot of drunkard. And what he did is, he took a glass of alcohol, he took a glass of water, some medicinal water, he put some worms, live worms into the water, into the glass of alcohol and into the water, and he showed a demo. After some time, this worms in the glass of water were still living and going around, but in the glass of alcohol, the worms died. So in fact, he was giving a lecture to all these drunkards, and he was showing a live demo. Then he asked, what did you all understand from this demo? And one drunkard raised his hands and he said that, what I understood is, alcohol is very good for our health because it kills all the unwanted germs inside our body. So like this he said. So when an instruction is given, it can either be taken negatively or it can be taken positively. That's why there are some people, they don't change at all. And Ravana was that kind of a person. When he took Sita Mai, there were, like never before, there were so many people who were coming and giving him instructions. It is very bad, don't do this. What you have done is wrong, even now you have a chance. There was a time even Lord Rama came and said, no, Ravana, I think you are very tired. You also have to do your Gayatri and all these things. Why don't you go take some rest and tomorrow you can come rejuvenated. So Ramayana says that the actual mindset what Rama was thinking is, at least in that one night's time, maybe if his mind transforms, I can leave him alone. Ravana actually went to Bali Maharaj. He thought, okay, Bali Maharaj is a very strong guy, I can take help from him. So he says, he goes and meets Bali Maharaj, he said that, 3 monkeys are troubling me. And he says, Bali Maharaj says, what monkeys? Ravana, you can take monkeys for your breakfast. What are you saying? Monkeys are troubling you. Yeah, the first monkey, Hanuman, he came, he burnt the entire city. And then the second monkey came. Who was the second monkey? Sugriva. So he came, what he did was, Ravana has a habit which most of us don't have. You know what that habit is? He has a habit of always standing in front of the mirror and looking at his own beauty. None of us stand, right? We all very rarely, only once in a week or whenever we go out, we do it. So Ravana has always has this problem of standing in front of the mirror. So once what Sugriva did, he took a very small form. He came near Ravana's face. After all his makeup was done, he spat on Ravana's face and he ran away. And then the third monkey came, Angada. When Angada came, Ravana did not even realize that he is Vali's son. Angada introduced that he is son of Vali. The moment he heard Vali's name, Ravana got little shaken up. Because Ravana was very, very frightened of Vali. In fact, their enemy turned friends. Ravana did not like Vali initially because Vali was very, very powerful. It is said that Vali was even powerful than Ravana. The moment Ravana came to know that Vali was very powerful, he was a little bit scared. He thought that there should no one be who is powerful than me. So he thinks that, oh, this fellow is anyways a monkey. I can kill him. So he thought, he made a plan. So Vali, as a routine of doing Gayatri, he does Gayatri in 4 different directions. So what Ravana thought is, when Vali is doing Gayatri, I will come from behind, I will catch hold of his tail, I lift him and I let him on the ground, it will die. He's anyways a monkey. So Ravana came like that. He caught hold of Vali's tail. The moment he caught hold of Vali's tail, Vali was unaffected. He was still doing his Gayatri. But he was so powerful that the tail actually, it coiled around Ravana. And what Vali did, he was just holding Ravana like that. After Gayatri, he jumped from one rock to another. So Ravana was like spring, he was hitting every places. So then finally Ravana understood the power of Vali. Then he told, I surrender, I have come for your friendship. He became very diplomatic. He said that, no, actually I have come to make friends with you. So then they did the yagna, they made friendships. So now Ravana does not know that Vali has died. When he sees Angada, coming back to the story, he asks, how is your father? Angada says, my father passed away long back. What? Vali passed away? Who is such a powerful person who has killed Vali? Because I know your father personally. He says, Lord Rama killed him. What? I cannot believe it. I don't believe it. Whether you believe it or not, Rama only killed him. That only he killed him just like you pierce a needle to a banana. That's how so easily he killed him. So better you give away Sita. So he said, no, I cannot give. Again, so many people are coming and saying he is not hearing. Then Angada said, I will show you one sample. At least after this you have to leave. He says, I will keep my feet grounded, my toes. Why do you try to lift my feet from the ground? If you are able to lift it, then you can have Sita. If you are not able to lift it, you have to leave it. Then he says, what big, you are a monkey after all, it is very easy for me. So this guy tries to lift it, not possible. He brings all his 10 hands, tries to lift it, not possible. Angada says, forget about feet. Just my toe, one toe, can you try to lift it? He tries to lift the toe, is not at all able to lift. Then Ravana calls all his people and they all try to, Indrajit, everyone comes, they try to lift it, they are not able to lift it. Then this fellow, Ravana is asking, what are you drinking daily? What are you eating daily? You look like a small monkey, you look so powerful. He said, I did nothing. I just took my breath. I chanted Rama and I did not leave the breath outside. I just kept it like this inside. You just imagine this, just the name of Lord Ram is so powerful. Just imagine he comes here directly in front of you. Better give away Sita. He said, go see some other person. I will not leave Sita. So all these things he is explaining to Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj says, is it not enough for you to understand that the Lord is so powerful? Why have you come to me? Better leave it. He says, I have come for you to give a solution. You don't give me these kind of instructions. I know what to do. Then he's like, Hum nahi sudhrenge category is there, right? So Bali Maharaj went. He said, okay, let I try to teach him some lesson. He took him to his terrace of his palace. He showed a very big hill. Ravana is very much attracted to gold. So he saw a very big golden hill. He said, do you see what it is? Yeah, it is a big mountain of gold. Can I take it with me? Bali Maharaj said, okay, you can try. If you can take it, you can take. Then immediately Ravana goes and tries to lift that hill. He's not at all able to lift, not even able to lift it. Then he says, what is this? I'm so strong, not able to lift this. Bali Maharaj says, do you know what it is? He says that is Hiranyaksha's earring. Hiranyaksha, he says that Hiranyaksha was a demon who was killed by Varahadev, Lord. Just by one slap, his earring came in failure. And that very earring, if you are not able to lift it, you are the very same Hiranyaksha who has come as Ravana now. And that very same Lord Varaha has come as Lord Ramachandra now. That very small earring, you are not able to lift it. How are you going to kill Lord? Better leave Sita, he says. Finally, he fights. He becomes angry with Bali Maharaj and he leaves. So this is how people, they are very much adamant. So that is why it is said that we should not become like Vali and Ravana. We should become like Sugriva and Hanuman. That is, we have to try to make friendships with the Lord. We have to leave negative associations. Artendriya Rama Sagoshti Atrishnaya Tat Sammatanam Aparigrahena Cha Vivikta Ruchya Paritoshatmani Vina Harer Guna Piyusha Panat. It's a conversation between Prithu Maharaj and Narada Muni. Narada Muni says, if one has to progress in his Krishna conscious life, he has to give away the association of people who are too much involved in sense gratification and money. Not only their association, but also people who are associating with that kind of people. This way, one's only business has to be to just drink the nectar of the pastimes of the Lord. And that way we have to progress in Krishna consciousness. This is what he says. So we'll have to all become friends. When we become friend with the Lord, see, of course, the Lord starts the chapter with whether you are a friend or a devotee, it does not matter. But here, Prabhupada, if you go through the purport, Prabhupada says that it does not give us a license to go against the Lord. It only means that the Lord is not affected. Still, an enemy, if he is inimical towards the Lord, even that person also will get benefited. But the benefits are different. I'll just give you an example. Now, a person, there is a king. It's a king's birthday. So he says his minister, come, let us go, take a ride. And whoever we meet on the road, no, I want to give them some gifts. So this king goes. And one person comes, king says that today is my birthday, I want to give some gifts. So you can ask me whatever you want, I will give. So this person is little hesitant. He says that, oh, it's a king. No, how can I? Speaking with him itself is very big thing. How can I ask? He's very hesitant. He says that, no, I don't want anything. He says, that's okay, you can ask. I'm very happily giving. And this guy very hesitantly he says, see, you are wearing that dress, right? Your dress looks very opulent. And can you give that button from the dress? That studs are actually made out of gold and emeralds. They are very costly. It can just save the life of that person for life after life. For generation it can. It is so costly. So he said that, can you give that? So the king said that, okay, fine. King is confused because he thought this fellow will ask something else. He took the button and he gave it to that person. Then a second person came. Then a second person came and this fellow, he asked, can you ask something? And he says, can I get your sword? And he gives his sword. And finally one person came. He said, king says, do you want anything? He said, I don't want anything. Then he says that, I don't want anything from you, but I have a request. I want to become your friend, he says, this person. Then king says, wow, what is this guy doing? See, I'm giving an open blank check. He can ask anything from me, but he's saying, I want to become your friend. Can you become my friend? So the king is also scratching his head. He doesn't know what to do. And finally he says that, okay, you can become my friend. Okay, fine. Now then the king realized that, okay, this guy is now my friend, which means he cannot be in this kind of a dress. So immediately he gives him some good dress. And then he says, now you are my close friend. Why don't you come to my palace tomorrow? So then this friend goes to the palace, this guy goes to the palace tomorrow, and this king gives a big reception, just like if any VIPs comes, right? He gives a big reception, he gives him a quarter separately. He says, you don't have to go back to your house, you stay in my house only, you are my dear friend now. So like that, what happens? Slowly, he got all the riches which the king is enjoying. He started eating what the king started eating, he started wearing what the king wore. He started living a nice, lavish life. All the king's friends became his friends. All the king's security guards became his security guards. So when he was alone going around in the kingdom, everyone started looking into this. Oh, this is king's friend. He has to be respected. Now, like that, they started respecting. And automatically, now who is the intelligent fellow? Is it a person who took that diamond from that dress, or is a person who told to become a friend? Yeah, so we have to become like that. We should not go and ask, Lord, give me that, give me this. No, give me one house, give me one car. No, we have to just become pure devotees. We have to become the Lord's friends. Just like Arjuna, we have to become Lord's servants, Lord's friend. Because once we become the friend of the Lord will automatically take care. Just like these devotee, just like how the Lord took care, king took care of his friend, he will take care. That is how we have to be. So we have to be like that perfect, I'll just conclude here. We have to become like that perfect servant. So it is said that if there is a yajaman, if he says, he gives some grocery list to that servants. Say if the servant goes to the supermarket say there is some 50 list of groceries, and he brings maybe some 10 or 15 of them, and maybe some things he forgets. Will, will that Yajaman be happy? Will that master be happy? No, he will not be happy. He will scold that servant. What is that? You are not at all paying attention. I have given you such a big list, and you have missed so many things in that. But whereas if a servant is up to right, no, he brings all the list correctly, then the Yajaman is very much satisfied. So similarly, we devotees in our devotional service, we have to be very pakka in our service. It cannot be half-baked. We do something that we like as per our comfort level. We don't see whether the servant likes or not. The master is paying him. He has to service master. Only then he can satisfy his master. So similarly, if we don't become that kind of server devotees, perfect devotees. It's not just disciples. We have to become perfect disciples who buys all these groceries without fail. So we'll have to follow all these instructions, and we'll have to be 100% Krishna consciousness. Only then Krishna will accept us. It does not mean that if we are half-baked, he rejects us. No. But if we have to capture his heart, right, this is how we'll have to follow it. So then, that way we become, then that is how we capture the Lord's heart. Hare Krishna. Nantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Maybe one question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhu, I have one question. You said we need the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. How we can get by the mercy of Guru, by the glance of Guru. So can you elaborate more on the mercy of Guru, how we can get it?
Yeah. So the very same point was being stressed recently in the Guru Agna event, which happened 2-3 weeks back in Madurai. If you see, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj was stressing that the only way we can satisfy him is by following the instructions of the spiritual master. In fact, he says that he started by saying that Prabhupada has given me 64 instructions specifically to me. And he also read one quote from Srila Prabhupada. In that, Prabhupada is saying that if all my devotees can just help me by fulfilling these instructions, then I'm completely satisfied. That is what Prabhupada says. And then Guru Maharaj repeats that statement and says that if it same applies to me as well, if all my devotees, disciples can fulfill these instructions of Prabhupada, or in other words, can help me fulfill these instructions of Prabhupada, then automatically I also become satisfied. So to generalize, it is the Guru Vani. Whatever Guru Maharaj, there are two kinds of sevas, Guru Vapu and Guru Seva, Guru Vani. And the most powerful among these two is the Guru Vani. So whatever instructions could be different for different spiritual masters. But whatever our instructions are given by our spiritual master, especially towards fulfilling the wishes of Srila Prabhupada and for the moment, right, that itself is more than enough. The whole Guru and Guru Parampara will be satisfied. And sometimes Guru does not come directly or is not always along with us. And that is what, this is also one question which was raised and Guru Maharaj in fact addressed. He said sometimes the local temple or presidents, whatever services they give, they are non-different from my instructions. So when we follow the immediate authorities' services and instructions, then you are automatically serving the instructions of Guru Parampara. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Shriman Mahaprabhu ki. Shri Shri Lakshmi Narsingh Dev ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much, Prabhu. The announcement said there was Bhagavatam class today, but we had a Japa seminar and Ramayana too. Thank you very much, Prabhu. I was told that you were just moved from different state, you were unwell. Despite that, Prabhuji didn't want to stop the class. Did you all enjoy the class? Why don't we say a big Hari Bol? Hari Bol! Thank you very much for those wonderful points, Prabhu. Those 5 devotional points. And we are all a dog. Kantimala. So those who don't have it, please reach out.